Hi everyone, so today it is positive post-it day, and normally we would do this in school. We've been doing this for the last 3 years and we'd spread positive post-it notes right across school. So Mrs Prince has asked you if you can do that at home instead. And in your pack there should be a sheet and it should have some pictures on it like this with some hearts, some smiley faces and some like clouds. And some of you might have already done it, but if you haven't, today's first task is to write positive notes on the sheet, or you can use piece of paper if you've got post-it notes to create positive messages about yourself, about your family, about others, about things that are going on around you, anything at all, as long as it's a positive message. Then we would normally go and stick these all around school so people can read them, which obviously we can't do this year. So Mrs Prince would like you to stick them around your house instead. So perhaps you could go and stick them on your window so people might be able to see them. Or you could stick them on your door so your family members could read them, or on the fridge. I'm sure you'll find lots of places to put them. So your first task is to write some positive notes to start off the day. If you want to do your words of the week and then come back to that, that's absolutely fine. Or as I say, some of you may have already done it. So yeah, you guessed it, it is Friday, so it is words of the week. So please remember to keep practicing all of the words of the week that we've been learning. It's not just about learning them at this time, you need to remember the spelling patterns. So let's have a look at today's words. Right, tricky words today. These are not words we can sound out. These are what we call our red words when we do our read, write, ink. And they are words that we just have to know by sight. So by looking at them, we need to just know that that's that word, because they're words that we just cannot use a sound to help us work out. So they're called our common exception words, and in read, write, ink, they are our red words. So have a go. Some of you may be able to already read them. Pause the video and see if you can read the words. If you can't, don't worry, because I'll read them with you. So we've got, and I bet most of you should be able to read the first one because we've done a lot of practice with this in maths, and it's number 1, isn't it? Okay, or we might say in English, one day. So we've got one, we've got once, we've got there, where, and our. Then what I've done is I've popped them into some sentences. So see if you can have a go at reading these sentences. There are some tricky words in there this week for you to read, as well as your extra tricky words that I've given you. So see if you can have a go. Don't worry if you can't, because either your grown-up will help you or I will read it to you when you've had a go. So pause the video and see if you can read these sentences. So our first one is, where are we going? And I've done a question mark because it's a question, isn't it? All right, I used a question word, where. So I've put my question mark at the end. Well done, Miss Creaser. Maybe I will go on gold this week because I've remembered my question mark. Where are we going? Next sentence. Dad said I can have 1 chocolate bar. Oh, very good. So I've used 1 there, haven't I? Please stand over there. So I've used the word there. And please was a tricky word, wasn't it? Okay, so we haven't learnt please. We haven't learnt those sounds. So well done if you did that. So what I would like you to do now is I'd like you to copy out these words, practicing them. Remember, we can't sound them out. There aren't any special friends. They are our red tricky words. So write them out and then choose at least 3 to put into sentences. If you want to do all 5, super duper, but please choose at least 3 to put into your own sentences. Pause the video, off you go. Okay, and then handwriting, our last task. We've got 3 letters this week. Goodness me, I've really made it challenging for the last day before the holidays, for our half term, haven't I? So let me get my pen out ready. So we've got I, U, and T this week. And that's because they all have the same pattern, okay? They all have to be drawn in the same way. But our I is just a little bit smaller. But remember, with our cursive, we start at the bottom of the line, we start on our line, we go up to the middle for an I, come back down and give it a little curl, and then we go back and do a dot, okay? So start at the line, go up to the middle, come down, give it a curl, and then a dot. I'll do one more. Start at the line, so we do our lead in, up to the middle, come back down and give it a little curl, and then do our dot on the top. So our okay, exactly the same. We do our lead in from the bottom, but we go right to the top this time instead of the middle. We come back down that same line as carefully as we can and then give it a curl. So can you see it's the same pattern that we're following, but the just goes a little bit taller. So we do our lead in all the way to the top, try and come back down that same line and give it a curl, okay? Lead in all the way to the top, then back down and give it a little curl. Well done if you're doing this at the same time or just watching. So you're going to do it in a minute. Lead in for our T, all the way to the top again because it's a tall letter. Back down, give it a curl, and then what we do that's different to an is we cross over the middle. Okay, so it's exactly the same as an lead in all the way to the top, come back down and give it a curl, but then we have to take our pen off because we cross it over the like that. It's the only one that we're allowed to take our pen off for. So I'll do one more, lead in all the way to the top, back down to the bottom, give it a curl and then cross it over. All right, so I want you to practice your I, and T cursive letters, please, as best as you can. Just take your time and keep practicing, okay? I hope you have a lovely half term and I will see you again through the screen after the holidays. Take care, everybody.